Hello my dears and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be learning something you guys have been asking me to cover ever since my art book came out, which is how to draw backgrounds in perspective. You guys know I make manga and comics for a living, so being able to draw a background in perspective quickly and accurately is a super important skill to have, and soon you'll be able to draw a background in 10 minutes or less. And quick announcement guys, shipping for volume 1 of my series begins today, so get your orders in. Thank you so much for your loving support. So without further ado, let's get started. Step 1, we've got to start off with the basics. So let's talk about 1 point perspective. This basically means that everything seems to lead up to 1 point. So here's the horizon line representing the horizon, and here's our one and only vanishing point. Notice how everything, the trees, the tracks, the bushes, everything seems to lead to 1 point. So we're going to trace everything with some guidelines to really show you how everything seems to lead to that one little vanishing point. So let's do our best to recreate this photo of the railroad tracks. We'll start off with the horizon line, put in our little vanishing point right there in the center. I'll start making a little measurement on the bottom to represent where the tracks will go. And notice how I line up the little markings that I made of the railroad tracks with the vanishing point to create that perspective, the look of the railroad tracks leading and fading off into the vanishing point. I'm making some more little markings to represent the tops of the tallest trees. And again, I'll line that up with the vanishing point to create my guidelines. Notice how basically I'm making markings for where I know everything has to go, and then lining that up with the vanishing point to create my guidelines. Now here's an example of one of my own drawings with 1 point perspective. However, the point is actually off of the paper and not in the very center. Now let's try something a little bit harder. 2 point perspective. Now take a look at this city view. Let's draw the horizon line. And now notice how now there are 2 vanishing points. Oh my god, I know it looks intimidating, but I promise you it's a lot easier than you think. You just need a little tiny bit of practice. So let's try this together guys, okay? 2 point perspective, let's go. So we have a horizon line and we're drawing our 2 vanishing points. I drew a line in the middle to represent the corner of the building, and now I'm just lining up the tops of that line with the vanishing points, and I made a little sketch where I know I want all the windows to go, and now I'm lining up the tops of each of those little window sketches with the vanishing point. I know it seems a little bit tricky, but I promise you, if you are using a reference, that's going to really help you guys out a lot. But I just wanted to simplify drawing a building with 2 point perspective, so I'm just making a basic little square building for you guys. But I promise you, if you practice this a few times, it's going to become super easy for you. And notice how I'm using the point on the right to create the side of the building that I'm drawing right now. You see that right there? Got some little sidewalk action happening. And to create the actual separations, right there, those lines on the sidewalk, I am using the vanishing points. Look at that. Okay, so I've never done this digitally before, but I thought it would be a lot easier to teach you guys this if I did this with a screen recording versus me drawing on paper. So there we go, drawing some more lines for the sidewalk. Ooh, look at them go. See, it's coming together little by little, little by little. I know there's like a lot of lines going on, but all you need to remember is have an idea of where you want something to go, draw a little guideline, and just line up that guideline with the vanishing point. And so far, I got to this point in about 6 minutes or less. With a little bit more time, this entire thing would be done. So in 10 minutes, you can have a whole background and perspective done. With a little practice, of course. And step number 3, which for me is the fun part, creating a background after you've already drawn whoever it is or whatever it is that you were going to draw. So I scanned in one of my marker pieces that I did not finish yet for this example. So I drew a little sketch of some steps that my characters would be sitting on, as well as a window and a bookshelf. I just drew little guidelines for where I knew I wanted the shelves to be, and so on and so forth. Lined that up with the vanishing point, and I got myself a nice bookshelf in perspective. Look at that. Voila! So and now I wanted to draw a hardwood floor. So I made little measurements on the very bottom of my drawing to represent how wide I wanted each plank of wood to be. And I lined that up with the vanishing point to make the floor all in perspective and all that good stuff. I wanted the steps to be made up of stone, so once again, I made little guidelines for the width of each stone and then lined that up with the vanishing point to create all these little stones and all that good stuff in perspective. I'm telling you, it's a lot easier than you realize, guys. There's also 3-point perspective, but I'm thinking that's a little complicated for today's video. I'm not trying to kill you guys, okay? And if you guys enjoy the dark side of mythology and folklore from around the world and enjoy some weird random humor, I really think you guys would enjoy my series. Remember, shipping begins today, guys. So that's it, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video and you found it useful, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with your artist friends, because hopefully they'll also find it useful. And what other videos would you like me to make next? Leave all of that in the comments down there below. And please take care, God bless, and do not be afraid to nerd out. Take care, guys, and see you next Thursday. Oh, you're so sweet.